So you're on the job site. Your new CC32 air-to-water heat pump from SpacePak just showed up. Maybe we have opened boxes before, maybe we haven't. Today we're going to open this box for what would be almost the first time, and we're going to go through what's in it, what you get with it, and what these parts are for. Something to keep in mind in the tracking and the shipping, they'll come with a wood crate around them. We have a little tip and tell on there as well. In prepping this a little bit, it comes with packaging. We have a couple of boxes that will break into here. The first box that comes with the unit is the Wi-Fi module. In that Wi-Fi module box, we'll have instructions and the Wi-Fi module itself. We'll show you where that gets plugged in the future. Next is more of our installation kit that comes with rubber vibration mounting feet. Vibration dampening goes under the 4 feet. A couple of drains for defrost and condensation defrost draining. They fasten to the bottom of the unit. Some cabling for the remote mounting of the control screen. And then the all-important touchpad control screen. All that comes nice and packaged in. We have some mounting hardware to be used where applicable, and an extra 10K temperature sensor if needed in certain installations. So now we've got our unit out of the box. This particular unit is a CC32-18, the smallest of our series of 3 air-to-water heat pumps in R32 refrigerant. Discharge air comes out the front, SpacePak logo. We walk around the back. This is where the magic starts to happen. Our inlet and outlet water temperature connections, 1-inch tappings. Our high and low voltage control wiring as well comes in the back right-hand side of the unit. Everything is labeled. As we walk back around to the panel, on the right-hand side, we have the all-important data plate. This gives all pertinent information for the piece of equipment. The model size, the serial number, date of manufacturing, as well as general electrical information, all the way down to the amount of refrigerant in the system. Also bring attention to QR codes available. With your phone and a quick picture, you can pull up digitally the entire manual, as well as registering the piece of equipment for warranty purposes. To get extended warranty on any SpacePak equipment, registration on SpacePak.com's website is necessary and easily done through a quick click of your smartphone and the provided QR code. We also have information here regarding the model and product code that may come in handy later when we're doing a Wi-Fi integration, as well as a label stating the exact refrigerant. Now this is going to be important as we will be soon releasing another air-to-water heat pump using a slightly different refrigerant, R454B. Okay, so now that we talked about the information provided on the side of the unit, I've already taken 2 small Phillips head screws out of the bottom of this door. Slight push on the bottom, swing it out. Door pops right off, revealing the internals and the power connections of the system. On the right-hand side here, we have the high voltage connections. As you can see, L1, L2, neutral and ground, rated for 208 up to 230, 240 volts. One of the things that I'd like to bring attention to here is the need for that neutral and a ground. The circulator that moves the water or water glycol mixture from the heat pump outside to the buffer tank inside and then back again is controlled by the outside unit. So if we're running a 110 volt circulator, 1 leg of power and a neutral is required for proper operation. We move over here to our cables, easily marked on these white labels. We've got a display cable. This cable will plug into that 65-foot cable and touchscreen display that we have, that we saw in a previous video. If we choose to incorporate the Wi-Fi module, we have a connection here. And then for another time and future expansion, we have a third cable that at this time is not used. Now, our low or no voltage connections here. These are what we're going to use to turn the unit on, to choose either heating and cooling mode, auxiliary inputs, outputs, and so on. Please pay special attention to the wiring diagram, as these connections, many of them are no voltage connections, and adding voltage to those connections will compromise the control board. Looking a little deeper into the unit, we have some access ports for the refrigerant. These units, in large part, should never need work on their refrigerant side. They arrive pre-charged with the correct amount of refrigerant for what the system is expected to do and how it is going to perform. Also, on the water side, what we have, this big vessel here in the center, this is actually the refrigerant and on one side and water on the other. This is the exchanger. This is where the temperature from the refrigerant gets transferred to that water or water glycol before it either gets heated up or cooled down and then pushed back outside. So here we have a relatively common valve, top and bottom, as far as upon original or initial commissioning, draining any air if this just happens to be the highest part of the system.